Hey, everybody, happy Monday, happy day after. And when it is a day after, we just sit there and we have a conversation. We kind of just decompress and just release it. Kind of really, even though we don't really like doing podcast formatted videos because it just seems kind of tacky and corny and we like to interact with you, but sometimes we like to have days where we sit here and just talk amongst ourselves. And it is late at night, so there is no coffee because Dave and I are probably going to go to bed in like 2 or 3 hours. So
yeah, after the video uploads, I'm going to be pretty close to bed
we're
for sure.
pretty much out sleeping, unless you're someone that likes pro clubs and you get to play with some of the guys that are playing. But
That is happening.
as we recap the most interesting weekend of weekends, lopsided in a sense. It was really great, and then it was kind of shitty, and then it was great again. But Dave, how are you, buddy?
Man, on one hand, like emotionally drained.
How's your hand?
The hand's fine.
Apparently that's one of the things that people have been asking.
The hand's
You've
fine.
not
Don't worry
seen
about the
it.
hand. It's okay.
You've not seen it. Dave has smashed his hand.
This is the hand. This is the hand. This is where I hit it. There's no bruise or anything. That the hand is fine.
It's his stroking hand.
Okay, yeah, I got to take care of it. Put the insurance policy out on that one.
Yeah, do sound a flip the bill.
Yeah, wrap it in his sweaty shirt.
Absolutely.
Oh man, everyone put his naked body on
all over
today.
All over. It's on the cover of Tudo Sport.
So I haven't made the thumbnail yet for this show in particular. I'm probably not gonna have. If it was Gatti with the shirt off, maybe, but I don't know.
Too much. I kind of want to bring to attention on this because people probably start telling us, well, you guys were bashing him for the longest time ever, and now you guys are giving him compliments. Yeah, we were. You want to know why? Because he was playing like garbage. Mm-hmm. Here's where I have a gripe. Dave has a gripe with the referees, but I have a gripe with the fan base to an extent. Guys, we are commentators. We comment on the moment at hand. We don't have allegiances to players, to managers, or to clubs. We make objective takes on situations. We make objective takes on the moment as it is. So, of course, I'm going to sit there and say, yeah, Dusan played terrible. Like he had a stinker coming into this recent stretch. Now I'm going to say, yes, he is playing well. He deserves praise, deserves credit. That's not me flipping on the opinion. If you want to look at it as an overall right now, yeah, for 80 million, still a lot left to be desired. But this is positive signs because what, Dave, you can call me out here if I'm wrong. What was my biggest complaint about Dusan? He is not mature and not willing to develop other aspects of his game.
Yes, all the mentality side of things, really.
What has been the biggest change recently for Dusan?
His mentality,
his work ethic, and the way that he comes at the game. Mm-hmm. And I gave him credit for it on the live stream yesterday. So I want to make that clear because I see this in our DMs on Twitter, on Instagram and whatnot. Oh, yeah, but you guys are bashing him. Why are you guys? If you have children, your kids suck at something, son, you suck at this. You need to do better at this. Or, for example, when your kid actually does perform, great job, kiddo. Nice. That's kind of how we go about this. I'm not going to sit here and tell my kid you suck when he did well.
It's a sliding scale. It's interesting because Hamza messaged me on X last night as well. And he's like, you know what? And this isn't to throw Hamza under the bus here by any means. It's just to throw an example out. He's like, yeah, I'm not completely convinced on Vlahovic. And I was like, don't worry, man. Have faith. I think things are turning around. And he's like, bro, this conversation usually goes the other way. He's trying to tell me to have faith because we were obviously, like we said, going hard on him. And now because we see a change, the tables have kind of turned, right? So there's still mixed opinions out there, right? It's only been a couple of games, not a huge data pool. But yes, we want to get behind this momentum and continue to push it forward.
Yes, because at the end of the day, if he performs, we perform. And if we perform, we win a title and we get to laugh in people's faces for winning it.
And that's we've always said.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what? He's $80 million. We want him to play like an $80 million player. He's playing like a 20. Now he's starting to play like a 40, 50 million. Let's get him playing as an $80 million player. And then guess what? We don't have to sell him. We just got an $80 million player.
You finally got what you paid for.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, look, if the offer comes in, I'd still consider it at this moment. But look,
Only because we have larger needs at hand.
We do. We have larger needs at hand, but it's the same thing with McKennie. Everybody was on the boat for sell McKennie. McKennie doesn't offer much. It's okay. He turned it around. Opinions change. The idea is when you're commentating on sports or when you're a fan of sports, you call things out what they are at the moment. And then when they adjust and they change, you can give credit to what they are. Because at the end of the day, Dave and mine, our agenda at this channel, what we do is to see Juve hold a domestic double this season. That is the agenda that we are pushing. I don't give a damn about a Chiesa obsession or whatnot. If he plays like crap, he plays like crap. We're here to call it out. If McKennie plays like crap, I'm going to tell McKennie he plays like crap. I've been a big fan of Danilo. I've said it. He has not been playing well with Kostic. That left side is a liability.
He's even said it, actually.
He said it himself, which to me is a huge nod as a captain. For all the people that say Danilo's not a captain, he's not a leader. Dude literally went out on an interview and said, hey, I'm fucking up. I need to clean my shit up.
Yeah, that's pretty good leadership type potential there.
So stop, and I employ Juventini to stop having straw man arguments on things, right? Where it's like, I said, hey, there's things that Keane is offering that was better at the time. He was. Now he's kind of dipped because of his injury, and I've held him accountable for him not being focused on the game. Needs to focus in on the game. When you're a commentator, you look at certain things, right? You take things for what they are at the moment, and the idea is that we take what we see and we give our perspective of it at the moment. Because I saw, and it was one of the things that Dave and I always see, right, is when guys are like, well, you guys were bashing them. Well, yeah, because he was not good. What do you want me to tell you? Good job for stinking it up.
But now he is, well, at least better. He got a goal. He's been performing, goal and assist. He had a great game. That's a couple now. So yeah, he's good. He's good now, and we're excited and we're happy. Why?
We need him to keep it going.
Yeah, we're happy because we're Juventus fans, right? I'm definitely, and I know you are, Dash too. We're one of the types that the team is bigger than the individual. Yes. I fanboyed over Chiesa. Guilty. I've 100% fanboyed and still do over Julian Grosso, but that's technically a different team.
But who can't though? Like it's Julia, it's Jules. How can you not?
So in any case, right? Like we all simp over our favorite players, yes. But at the end of the day, it's all about the family. The family comes first, and that family is Juve. That includes you. That's us. That's the management, the players. That's everyone. That's Juve. We're all in this one. Who comes first? Nobody. We all do.
Speaking of coming first, we almost had the opportunity of coming first, but certain powers of play. I think the first things first that we need to talk about before we really get into the Salernitana Juve is, and I think you're very passionate about this. You went on a nice spiel at halftime for it. Serie A fishing has been, it's just been terrible.
It's
terrible.
So I'm not gonna go, and I know some of you guys love the rants. I'm a little bit more copacetic today, right? This is why we do the day after. I don't have to necessarily yell today if I don't feel like it, right? That's yesterday. Go and look at my halftime rant yesterday. I just yelled a bunch, took a piss, and came back for the second half. So what I want to bring up today more so isn't necessarily the reffing per se. We know the reffing is trash. What I'm more concerned with is the fact that we have, most specifically, Juve and Inter fans going at it over each other about who deserves to be in first or how many points each team should have, or Gatti should have had a red card. What? I don't care. The fact of the matter is that this is an embarrassment. Now we're talking about family. This is the bigger family now, right? Like we're into the extended family. Yes, Inter might be that creepy uncle that touched us when we were 12, and we don't like to hang out with him anymore. But at the end of the day, when you go to the family funeral, you're going to have to confront that, right? And right now we're seeing a funeral of sorts, because this league is dying on multiple fronts, and then you just throw trash officiating for the whole world to see it as a travesterial just spectacle. Why are we accepting this? Why are we yelling at each other about this? Yes, we hate you, Inter. I get it. Cool. Nima, you're a douchebag. You say stupid shit on the internet. I don't give a fuck. But
name dropped him. Wow.
Yes, because he did name drops too. So I'm name dropping right now because you know what? I don't care that you think that Gatti got a red card. Because who deserves the red card right now are the referees. They're the ones that should be suspended. But here we are diverting the attention away from that travesty and putting on our own spectacle of debauchery over here, just bickering at each other. Let's turn around for a second and point the finger the other way, because the enemy of my enemy is still my friend. And in this case, Inter should be my friend when it's against the refereeing in the league and the travesty that they're allowing us to portray to the world.
Look, and right now, last weekend was probably one of the worst officiated weekends I've seen. The amount of poor calls, missed calls, and apparently someone made an argument. Oh, Paramount Plus, the VAR room never misses anything.
Oh my! Really? I can't believe when I.
Oh, really?
Okay, so are you talking? Was that a tweet? Because I heard this live as well.
It was live.
Yes, the live commentary, and they're like, "Oh, he's not going to get away with that. VAR doesn't let anything pass through." I'm like, what? What did you say on this weekend of all weekends? You just said that?
That is tone deaf. And no wonder why no one knows that if CBS or Paramount Plus is going to get a renewal on Serie A.
Oh my God.
It's tone deaf comments like that, where it's like, right now, when you think about it, it doesn't matter if you're a Juve fan, a Milan fan, an Inter fan, a Roma fan, a Lazio, Fiorentina, Atalanta, whatever. The officiating has been terrible. And it is going to play a factor into all of these guys' seasons, all of these teams' performances because of it. Like, no offense, I don't give a shit that you're going to spend 20 minutes of your day blocking certain people from actually commenting on a post that Gatti should have deserved a red card. Like, seriously, what are you going to gain from that? And then, oh yeah, Bastoni's not a yellow card if you look at this angle and blah, 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 blah. Can you come to common ground and just say the officiating is terrible?
It's like, terrible, and it doesn't matter who you root for. It's trash for everyone.
It's getting to the point where these officials are influencing the title race.
Mm-hmm.
They are.
100% they are. That's why we're angry.
Because, like, think about it. Let's think about it here. With the whole Genoa, the Inter Genoa. Oh yeah, we totally made a mistake on this one. That's influencing the results. Unfortunately, Inter's at the butt of this one, so like it's kind of tough to argue, Inter getting some fair play on this one. But like, it doesn't matter. You can't physically, as a refereeing association, you cannot just go out there and say, "Oh, we fucked up," or like, for example, the other officiating crew. Oh, we're suspending them from Serie A. They can't ref a Serie A match. Like, that is atrocious. You can't keep having, oh, my bad moments. Like, what?
The fact that they sent these refs, the VAR refs anyways, to Serie B, that's the first time I've heard of this. This is crazy. Well, I mean, we've only had VAR for a few years. So, yeah, this is probably, if I'm not mistaken, the first time a VAR ref has been demoted in this case. Correct me if I'm wrong, but it's gotten to the point where the whole Twitterverse, the whole social media scape across Serie A, not on EPL. I mean, the EPL is getting it bad too. It's getting to the point where they can't ignore it anymore. So I'm actually surprised that they finally actually just did something, and to actually go as far as to demote these guys. That's actually a step in the right direction, but we have to continue to correct and not allow. And at the end of the day, the product is for us, the fans. Nothing else exists unless we're there watching it. So it is us that need to start demanding better.
It is, because at the end of the day, it's ruining the integrity of the game.
Yeah.
Like, it really is. Like, I know you can make the argument in the case, Inter's been the least disciplined team, least penalties awarded, most penalty, all of that stuff. Like, I really, to be honest with you, I really don't like talking about that. I don't care. They're not us. Look, I understand they're getting help or assistance, as you want to say. We do what we can do. At the end of the day, the ball doesn't lie. Trust me, there's only a matter of so many air quotes lucky moments that they'll get before they fall off entirely. You just have to
somebody
give
said
each
it
of the
yesterday. It's like, good thing we got that goal before the added time was put it on, because then they would have added 10 minutes, right? So basically all it is you just gotta just be better than the refs. You have to outplay the refs, right? Eventually their hands are tied in the sense that they can't do something so egregious, especially now that it is starting to get in the spotlight. Eventually, they're not going to be able to continue to make these calls. And eventually, the benefactors of those calls, non-calls, that inheritance dries up. And all of a sudden, where are they?
It's only a matter of time. It's only a matter of time.
Just don't play the refs. Worry about yourselves, us.
Play the game. Win. That's all you got to do. You want to know what cures all of this baloney and all this stupid calls and all the arguments of X, Y, and Z? Winning. That's all you got to do. Just win.
And that's why the Inter fans are so damn upset this weekend.
Yeah, why do you think they're scared? Why are they spending so much time out of their day to complain about a tackle from Gatti, where honestly it's a yellow at worst case scenario?
After the Verona game, they're still in first place in a match where the league has come out basically saying they should have not had those points. Yet you're still coming out and saying that we don't deserve the points. Those are one of those things, like, you don't have any words. You're just like, shake your head. Just shake your head at that.
Yeah, you do, because the only reason why they're saying that, instead of saying, "Oh shit, we dodged the bullet," the only reason why they're complaining and whining is because they know we're there. We're behind them. They feel the pressure. They're terrified. Them in the locker room, I bet you Inzaghi himself is like, oh shit.
Mm-hmm. Well, he just saw his brother get raped twice in a row. So
yeah, he saw his brother get slapped. He's like, oh shit, that's me in February. They're afraid. You know, here's the thing. Here's the difference between a confident, stoic individual that knows what's going to happen and how they're going to do it versus a guy that acts like they're big and bad, but in reality, they know it's going to fall apart. They squeal, they yell, they cry, they freak out, they whine, they start complaining about things because they know their back line can only carry them so far. Bastoni makes mistakes like crazy. De Vrij is on his last legs. And really, Acerbi of all people is a center back, and then a makeshift with Darmian. They saw what happened with Lautaro not being at 100%. And I still don't think he is at 100%. You have Anatovic that can't fucking hit a ball with how tall he is. He just apparently decides to whiff everything. A senior citizen and Alexis Sanchez. Barella, Mkhitaryan too, who's on his last legs, and Chanalogu.
Their
midfield is great. It's great, but it is only, like I said with our center backs, I said they can only carry you for so long. That team can only carry you for so long. And I'm telling you this, Inzaghi as a coach, whenever there's been someone behind him, folds under pressure. You want to know the last time he folded to somebody was when Maurizio Sarri was behind him when he was coaching us. Was the winter champions, and then guess what? He folded. Because here's the difference between Allegri and Inzaghi. Allegri has experience. Allegri knows what he's doing in moments like this. Inzaghi's still raw. This is Inzaghi's first air quotes big club. Inzaghi had a 12-point lead against Milan. You want to know what he did to that lead? He fumbled it and lost the title at the last day of the season. Last season as well.
Let's be careful, because we thought Napoli would drop off too last year, so you never do know. But
the difference is you can see the chinks in Inter's armor versus where Napoli was one of those things where everything just went right and they just flew.
You knew at this point. I was thinking about that. It's like, the midterm report cards. Like, where were we last year? Looking up into the top and seeing Napoli, and just like there was that gap, right? And they opened up that gap even more into the new year. So it was pretty. Yeah, it was convincing. The fact that Inter still have Juve nipping at their heels, even though the calls are going for them and against us, like, that's the balance of power has begun to shift. There's no denying, and unless there's another abrupt balance somehow But with the current trajectory, I personally can't see how Inter continue unless they do just enough to keep just their noses ahead and then we fight to the last. But their trajectory is downward. I feel it.
Here's the problem with Inter, what they don't expect, or they didn't expect. They didn't expect Juve to figure out how to get nitty-gritty wins.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't.
They thought the Grinta was gone, but it turned out it was back.
Yeah, like Inter thought, look, we can get away with some stinkers. We can get away, some draws or some 1-0s at the end or 2-1s at the end. Problem is, what they didn't anticipate was Juve being able to do that. The difference between Inter and Juve, Inter it's expected because they have a veteran squad. Juve, it wasn't. You weren't expecting these youngsters to come in and do what they're doing. You're not expecting Yildiz to ascend. You're not expecting Hans Nicolucci to come in and, cover for Locatelli. You're not expecting Samuel Illing to hopefully or eventually displace Kostic. You're not expecting Weston McKennie to essentially evolve his playstyle and his role.
To do anything this year, honestly.
Yeah. You're not expecting Daniele Rugani to come in and be a solid substitute. You're not expecting Cambiaso being hands down one of the most valuable players on this roster right now. You're not expecting any of that.
I mean, those are all great points because I don't know, hands up there. Throw it in the chat if you expected anything on that list. Let us know what of that you expected.
Mind you, also, they're doing that with an out-of-shape Chiesa and Dusan. Mind you that, right?
Yeah.
So if you could imagine if Chiesa finds his Pirlo form, if Dusan, which I think Dusan is starting to go into that trajectory, if Dusan finds his killer instinct, can you imagine this team gets 86, 89, 90 points easy. Easy.
So he's got a girlfriend now.
She's
she taught him how to finish?
Probably. Probably. Question is, does she use one hand, two hand, both hands, or just other stuff?
I would like to see her use both feet.
Both feet. she's like, Dusan, come here. I show you how to finish with your feet. Look, hey man, women will do that to you as a guy. Like, hey, you get the right chick in your corner, you feel like you can fucking move boulders. So I don't know, and maybe that's the case, right? Maybe Dusan's getting some nice sloppy toppy that's putting him on cloud 9. Who knows? Who knows? I don't care what it is. Just keep doing it. Mm-hmm. Just keep doing it. Though I do think he needs a little bit more hair on his chest, but that's just personally me because the dude has like the build of a 15-year-old kid.
He probably nares it.
He probably does, and I bet you if Stephen Hawking saw it, he'd go crazy. I had to throw an Epstein joke in there, but look, whatever Dusan's girlfriend is doing for Dusan, they need to send her to Chiesa's fiance and have her do the same thing because something's going on. Like he's having a resurgence, more mature, more relaxed, more calm. To be honest with you, Dave, I know I was making like the jokes, but I really think she's just calming him down. I think she's relaxing him. Just being a vent, just being a support piece, either that or she's just trying to get the bag. But I think she's just no, not at all. But I think she's being able to relax him, calm him down, have him recenter his focus. Look, I'm telling you, cats, you get yourself the right woman, you can do incredible things. And I'm pretty sure some of the old dogs that are on this channel that are married will confirm that for you. Like it's
or if you need a little bit of pizzazz in your life, a little more excitement, get a crazy one. Get a red flag, as Vlad would say.
Get a red flag. She'll leave you unable to walk for weeks. Hey yo, but yeah. Look, he's got to do what he's doing. Just keep it rolling. Just keep it pushing. That's my thoughts on him. But Inter are gonna have themselves a fight. And
they do. They're getting it right from behind.
I'm telling you, it's only a matter of time before they get tired and drop off. They already are showing signs as it is right now.
Yeah, you get tired and you drop to the bottom and you take the bottom.
Drop to the bottom and you become the bottom bitch. But look, it's only a matter of time. That's all I'm going to say. I know we're frustrated with the calls. We're frustrated with them getting the least amount of yellow cards, most this, least that. Guys, it's noise. Don't worry about it. I know you're gonna say, but worry about it.
Don't worry about it.
They got 6 points, or they only should have got 1 point out of the past couple of games because of it. I know.
If we get shortchanged at the end due to all this travesty, then I'll cry. But we have half a season, and it's so tight, and we're gonna blow this bitch wide open. Just hang in for that ride, because it's coming, guys. I feel it in the bottom of my heart. Like, I felt it yesterday. Like, yesterday, I was so full of anxiety. That's why I punched my desk, because I just exploded with that emotion, because I felt it. Like, I knew it was building. I knew it had to be. And I'm not one of these like guys that will prophesize something and then like, oh, it came true. But this time, like, I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it hard. All I got to say is, like, just join in, join the community, because this is what we're pushing. We're pushing for the double. We're getting silver. The ladies already did it yesterday. There's already silverware on the table. We're starting to set the table. We just need a few more plates, and we're doing it. The men are going to show up and help and put those damn plates on the table. It's happening.
Yep.
Now.
Said
I wasn't going to yell, but I don't know. Is that yelling, raising voice? I did a couple times.
26 minutes in the game.
The game, that's fine. I mean, the game was...
There's not really much, right? There wasn't really much to dive in there. Salernitana get an early goal. It was a defensive error. Obviously, I said it on the live stream. I think it was just a really misread on Danilo Kostic and Caviglia on who to cover and who to mark at the time, and it opened it up. Then, Salernitana, and I said this, relegation teams in Serie A at their stadiums are some of the worst games to play. Everyone's like, well, I expected us to cruise and yada, yada. I said that, and I'm going to hold to it, because Salernitana are difficult to beat at home. They are. The records show it. It's just like Genoa. It's a trap game. There's few trap games in Serie A. Genoa and Salernitana are two notable trap games. And Fiorentina and Hellas Verona.
Oh, there's so many. The whole league's a trap.
There's four trap games. And those are there. Those are some of the hardest stadiums to win in. And you can sit here and you can talk with Misak, and Misak will give you a 3-hour spiel on it, because he knows it is one of the most biggest trap games. This was a trap game because Salernitana pull some stupid shit at home. They've always done it before, and they will again. So I told you, because they played their Primavera, their youngsters in that Coppa Italia, they don't give a shit. If they win Coppa Italia, it's not going to keep them in Serie A. They just get to go into the Europa League. They could have gone in as a Serie B team if they went all the way. That's not going to do anything for them. What's going to do stuff for them is if they don't get relegated. So, of course, they're putting all their eggs in the relegation basket. So it was
which is why they were so upset yesterday.
Yeah.
From that one non-call, which I guess we can bring up. There was a non-call.
Yeah, but how many non-calls do we have? Multiple, right? It's part of the game.
I'm trying to stop myself because we can start counting again. I'm going to go back to it. The ref was bad yesterday. Salernitana has every right to be upset with that call, but it's not. I would say they don't have any more right to be upset with the non-call. They should be as upset as Verona was, as upset as we are, as upset as everyone other than apparently Inter is.
No, they are. They're pissed. They're pissed that we won yesterday.
Yeah, so it still affects them. So everyone's pissed. Everyone's pissed. Let's do something about it.
Yeah. Look, it was one of those games. It was raining. It was a monsoon. Juve don't play well in the rain. One of those where just get the 3 points and move on. And that's kind of what it was. That's kind of what we had as a mindset when we pre-gamed it and everything. So I'm happy that Allegri adjusted his substitution strategy. When he saw shit wasn't working, he pulled the plug right away. He didn't hesitate this time. He pulled it out. Illing came in. He got his goal, but maybe I'm crazy, but I just, quality-wise from Illing, he got the goal, right place, right time, but he missed a couple of sitters after that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Dusan put it on a platter for him, and he just sends it wide. like, I understand the youth and the energy that he brings, but there's also just some technical aspects there where I'm sure he'll iron it out when he's playing, so I'm not too freaked out about it. It is what it is, right? But you can tell he's kinda ready, but not ready at the same time. Like, I still think there's more for him to develop into. Uh,
You can
Hans
say that about the whole team as well, though,
Yeah, you
honestly.
can. Like, for example, Hans coming in, Hans started, he did what he was expected. I didn't think he razzled or did anything crazy, right? He filled in Deputy Locatelli. When they switched to the 3-4-1-2, I thought that was impressive. I thought, with Moretti coming in and covering practically the entire area, the offensive area in transition, I thought was good. Yildiz, unfortunately for him, this is what teams are going to do nowadays. They're going to scheme them to hit you as hard as they can. You just have to find a way to get through it, dude. That's the difference between good players and elite players. So it's unfortunate for him, but this isn't the only game he's going to get beat up in. It's going to happen.
Oh, yeah. And I mean, these are good tests, anyways. They're a physical team. You can still overpower them at the end of the day. We did. We came out of it, but it's gritty. I think everyone had to go from Doosan. I mean, maybe not Tech or whatever, but you said what they average age 25.
Yeah,
people
they're young.
They're learning things, and they're learning a lot. In particular, when they're grinding out these 2-1 wins at Salernitana.
Yeah, they're young. Danilo again. Obviously, Danilo makes up for the error, wins the ball back, sends the ball in for
that was huge. That was massive.
Big play. Big play. That is the definition of grit, if anything, right? Obviously, Dusan facilitating play and organizing play. I saw it on our Instagram. I saw like the amount of memes and stuff like that. King this, king that. Guys, relax, man. Let the guy have a good stretch before we all start throwing these like he's the king of this, or like someone put him on like his head as a cutout from the Simeone, like grabbing his crotch thing. Like, guys, relax, man. Let the kid breathe. Let the kid can make some consistency.
That was
It was on our Instagram page. Our Instagram page shared it. Like, it was super cringe.
I was not a fan of that one. I'll be honest.
Neither. The Simeone crotch grab. They had Dusan do that. Like, they took out Simeone's face and they put Dusan on it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm happy for him scoring, but
they forgot to shrink his head when they pasted it.
Did you see it?
Oh yeah, he looks like, I don't know, some mythical creature the size of his head.
Terrible. It was
yeah,
like, I got the joke out of it, but
I got the joke, but like,
no, it wasn't good.
Do better.
Whoever center, because Dave and I don't run the Instagram. It's other people that do it. We give them clip, or besides the past couple of reels I gave to upload, but yeah, that was kind of cringe. I'm not
in any case. Yeah, it goes to the point in any case that be excited, but we're excited from the team. Yes, but from the team perspective, be excited. Yes. But when you're looking at the individuals, I mean, humans are pretty fragile creatures. It doesn't take much to throw somebody off into a bad day, bad week, a bad year, even. Right? So
just tell them to pull out.
So be excited for this team, but we will obviously take things objectively and temper anything too insane. Unless, I mean, like, you got the big black rocket from the other day. When you got things, big black, you can't not get excited.
That was a piss rocket. Yeah, that was an absolute piss rocket. Just
so be happy. We're not telling you not to be happy. There's so much to be happy about, and we're gonna win a double, so there's gonna be even more.
Yeah, exactly.
So
Salernitana cheeseballed that whole game. Like, I didn't see anything good or anything crazy out of them. They cheeseballed it.
Yeah, it was not. I think the reason why we enjoyed this game, and it's the reason why we've enjoyed a few of these Cortomuso games, is because it's starting to get meaning behind it, because we're really challenging for this title now.
Yep.
When you saw this in like match day 5, for instance, everyone was like, this is trash. We need a new coach. We need to do better. Now it's like, holy shit, the 23-year-olds are cooking.
Yeah. The one thing I still don't understand, because there was a thing with so there was Tall's Real, the one where he was talking about re-signing Max. People are like, I would still bring in De Terbi. Why are we still talking about this guy? And then this one comment made me laugh. This one guy's like, yeah, he shouldn't be here because it's been 3 years and he hasn't won anything. I'm like, 3 years?
Well, 2.5.
Yeah, I know, but I'm like, 3 years? It's only been 2 seasons. Yeah. One season we were in the Coppa Italia final that we got gypped out of because of poor officiating. Last season, do I need to talk about how terrible last season was?
He's the only reason why we're not in Serie B right now.
Yeah. He's the only reason why we didn't completely collapse. And that guy's like, yeah, they didn't win anything the last 2 years. And at Juve, you have to win every season. You have to win something every season.
It would be like, well, we were spoiled. We were extremely spoiled.
Has there ever been a franchise that's won every single year? That's won a trophy almost every single year?
Like forever and always?
Yeah. No. No. No, it's never happened. It's never happened. And then you look at the talent that was in front of you too. Allegri's first season. You lost Pjanic. You had Arthur that was an absolute dud. You lost Ronaldo. Like, what? Douglas Costa was gone. You had Federico Bernardeschi, Paulo Dybala whenever he was able to show up, Alvaro Morata. And then what else? Juan Cuadrado? Mr. Dribble into a person and lose the ball and then fall and fake a foul? Like, you had nothing that first season. You were lucky to make it to the Coppa Italia final. And then next season, Di Maria, who clearly wasn't invested into the project. Paul Pogba, who couldn't stay healthy. Misfiring Dusan with Pobleja issues. Chiesa was out with an ACL tear. He didn't come back until like the latter second half of that season. You had no back line because
there were so many issues.
There was
we might need to do a recap like last season. Do you guys remember how bad last season was?
Like that's the thing that I find so damn ironic with people is they make comments like that without really thinking what they're saying. Oh, there's no improvement. There's no growth or anything. Did you not see how we were? Do you not remember how bad it was? Like, at that point, I just say that
we forget.
At that point, I just say you're either between the ages of 18 years old and maybe 21, 22, 23 years old. If you are someone in your 30s and you're making that take, you are an idiot. You are an idiot. I'm sorry. You're an idiot.
We'll see how many subscribers we lose, and then we know how many idiots we have.
I'm dead serious. The fact that someone can sit there and say Allegri didn't win anything in his 2 seasons, that's why he's terrible and he should get fired. What? What?
Yeah, if anybody deserves to keep his job in this Serie A, it's Allegri.
The only team that gets a pass to fire a coach for not winning a single trophy is Real Madrid. That is the only team that gets a pass for that. The only team. Not even Man City. Man City doesn't get a pass for that. You want to know why? Because Real Madrid is royalty at this point. They are footballing royalty with the amount of prestige and what they have done, how they do it. You look at the roster they have right now. If you can't win a Copa del Rey, you're an absolute joke as a coach. Or if you can't win the joke of La Liga is right now, or you have a Manchester City sponsored team in first competing with Real Madrid for the title. If Real Madrid doesn't win this title, they're a laughingstock. Because Barcelona with Xavi?
Do you want to see a team that's like Juve but not really succeeding? Look at Barcelona.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying they're like a complete.
Oh, we're better off than they are. We're
100% better off. Yeah,
they have better players. They just have a stupid coach that doesn't know how to coach properly. But everyone's sitting there for the nostalgia. Mm-hmm. Like he's essentially what they hoped. He's a Zidane in a sense. They were hoping that they would get another Zidane and Xavi being the coach of Barcelona, what Real Madrid did. And they're kind of like with us and Pirlo. Xavi was never ready for that role. He was never ready for that
But
role.
he continues to have it, which then begs the question: who do you hire? The good coaches are all taken. So even Barcelona at this point can't go out and I don't know who they're gonna buy. I don't know who we're gonna buy. That's the point.
That is the
They're
point.
working with the best thing they have at the moment. Just turns out our best thing is real good.
You don't have quality coaches. There's not quality coaches out there.
Pep's
Let's
taken.
be honest.
Ancelotti's taken. De Zerbi, I don't
Klopp,
know. Do you throw him in?
Klopp isn't going anywhere.
No.
Pep, I don't think
he might be the first one to go somewhere because he's kind of hinted.
Pep might be the only person that'll go anywhere. And then what? Pochettino at Chelsea? No. Tottenham's coach? No. Mikel Arteta? Maybe. But even he's shown more than De Zerbi has shown in the Premier League. And I don't care what they say, Arsenal this, Arsenal that. He built a pretty young Arsenal squad with a bunch of rejects from other clubs. Like, if De Zerbi, I'm going to say this about De Zerbi. If De Zerbi doesn't leave Brighton and go to a good team or a big team at the end of the season, that's all you need to know about him. Because you want to know how old he is, Dave?
43? He's in his 40s.
De Zerbi is 44 years old. And then you want to know what Allegri is, his age?
So around 60.
So this is going to be some fun. We're going to have some fun with this. So Allegri is 56. So if we look at Allegri's career, so he's what right now? 56 to De Zerbi's 44. So about 12 year age difference. So if you look at 12 years ago, when Allegri was the same age, do you want to know what Allegri did when Allegri was 44 years old?
What's that?
Won the Scudetto with Milan. So De Zerbi, in order to even come close to the records or to the street cred Allegri has done, has to win a trophy to 2 trophies every single year for the next 12 years. Yeah, 2010.
Yeah, if you put it in that perspective, I don't know if that's completely fair. Different leagues, different times. Of course, there's going to be differences.
No, I understand that, right? But like that, when you look at that there, right, as far as coaching quality.
Yeah, you're just trying to put some things to perspective, right?
Exactly. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do.
It's a classic case of the grass isn't always greener on the other side. But even if that coach is a better coach, is he better for Juve and what we need and where we are? Because some coaches need tons of money to do things.
I'm trying. So the thing that I want to do, Dave, is I want to get through this stigmatism that like, oh, he's a young coach, he's a green coach, right? Like that's what people are still like. Some of the arguments. Oh, De Zerbi is young, he's green. That's why he hasn't gone to a big club or won anything. And it's like, no, Allegri at the same age coached Milan and won a title with Milan. Like, what is there? If you're a good coach, you're a good coach. Let's look at Antonio Conte. Like when Conte came to Juve, his age. So Conte right now is 54 years old. So Conte coached Juve, I want to say 10 years roughly, because he came in the 11-12 season. So about 13 years ago. So Conte, 13 years ago, would have been 41 years old that he won a Scudetto with Juve.
Basically, you're saying is he's got to catch up.
He's got to catch up, man. Like you can't use the argument that he's young, he's raw, because that's the one thing I'm seeing about the whole De Zerbi argument is, he's a young coach still. He's that's why he hasn't really developed into being a big club coach. It's like, no, hurry the fuck up, man, because Conte won a Scudetto, and Conte. Like De Zerbi came from Siena. Well, not De Zerbi coming from Siena, but Conte came from a small team. But he showed his prowess. Yeah, he was at Atalanta from 2009 to 2010, went to Siena from 2010 to 11. Then he went to Juve in 2011, which is 13 years from now, or 13 years ago, which he was 41 years old. So he was younger than Allegri when he won a title. So you mean to tell me that Roberto De Zerbi is still green? Still raw? Like
he's greener than the others, but he's no
how?
spring chicken either.
But that's what I'm saying. Like the argument is that he's a spring chicken.
He's okay. I want to. I would say like a spring chicken's more like a Palladino.
Yeah, that's a spring chicken.
Yeah. And even him, he's starting to leave the roost a little bit too now, right? And that's another name. Why did I even bring that up? People are like, yeah, we should get Palladino. Same idea, right? He's still needs to learn things.
So, like for example, right now, Italiano, 46 years old, he's at Fiorentina. Fiorentina's a higher team than Sassuolo and Brighton. In theory, they are. As far as credentials, yes, it is. Brighton just came into the scene in a sense, where it's like more prestigious, more. You can argue. I mean, Fiorentina hasn't done anything in recent history, which is fair, right? But he went up to Fiorentina, a team with higher expectations than Sassuolo. That's the truth. Fiorentina have a higher expectation than Sassuolo do. Always have. He's there. He went up there. We went from Spezia to there. Palladino is another person that you mentioned. Palladino is on the short list to go take over Roma.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, they're cleaning house, it seems like, in Roma for next year.
And Palladino right now is 39 years old.
Yeah, he's definitely one of the younger ones.
He is a spring chicken. The point that I want to make, if you got it, you got it. He don't got it. He don't got it. You're 44 years old and you're at Brighton. Yeah, you're in the Premier League making Premier League money, but that's where he wants to be because it's less stress, less expectations, because he can't handle coaching a big club. Because the moment where Sassuolo's aspirations were growing a little bit more, he said, see you later, I'm going to Shakhtar. Went to Shakhtar, and then obviously the situation that happened there, left, went over to Brighton. How's Brighton doing this season? Not well. Not well at all. So unless he does something crazy and entirely proves me and a bunch of other people wrong, he's a mid-table Italian team. He's a mid-table Italian coach.
Well, with any of them,
he might be good for the national team in a couple of years, but that's it.
With any of them, anything can change in a couple of years. Maybe I think at least just to focus in to kind of close this section up and finish off the last couple points is more so. Are they ready for Juve now? And yes, you can speculate that you can say, oh, they're not even going to be ready in 5 years, 10. We don't know. We don't know what's going to happen. But right now, in this moment in time, at the end of the day, give me 3 reasons. This is out to the chat. Like, this is the challenge, right? Challenge us. Give me 3 reasons, because 3 is the standard for anything. 3 sources. Let's go of why Allegri should be fired, and then give me 3 reasons why you choose the next, choosing not the next coach, and give me 3 reasons why that will be better than the 3 reasons as to why you fired Allegri. That's your homework, guys, because let's not just make this a whim, just a fleeting emotion. Let's look at this objectively, because is he the most exciting coach to watch? Absolutely not. But you know how excited I was when we scored in the 90th minute a couple days ago? Punching my desk. It felt so. I haven't felt that in so long, and it's coming. So buckle up.
Yeah,
it's coming. Listen, if I say it's coming,
Dave's gonna come.
So let's close this off on just the transfer rumors. There's a couple things trickling around, so we'll bang them out while we have your attention. So first and foremost, Jallo. Still waiting. Lots of different reports. So I don't want to come in hard and say this is the deal, because the numbers are moving around a little bit. As far as we know, there is a deal on the table. Roughly $3 million plus bonuses. Again, I'm not going to say a hard number, but it's in that $3 million range with bonuses. I've heard 3.5, what have you. We're waiting for Thiago himself to make the decision. Of course, he's going to take a few days to think about it. He should take a few days to think about this. The hang up really is that there was a deal with Inter to transfer on a free at the end of the season. Lille obviously wants a few $1 million when they can. They threaten to bench him for the rest of the season if he doesn't decide if he wants to go to Inter. Lille want the money, but latest is that Inter are going to utilize him as a loanee, and he's not down for that. Now, I thought we might use him as a loanee as well as an option. I'm thinking some minutes with the next gen coming off that ACL. If it's minutes with the next gen, maybe that's more what Thiago's looking for, knowing that, yes, he has to get into fitness and get some game time, but then there's a direct entry into Juve's first team from there and not getting tossed around with Inter because they're bastards. Plus, I'm thinking this is the Sandro replacement for next year. So that's where it stands. Wait out. I'm expecting probably this week, allegedly, there's going to be meetings Wednesday, Thursday. We'll see. And of course, we'll report it. We're going to be here live anyways on Wednesday. So maybe we'll. There's a game on Thursday as well.
No, I think it's Wednesday. Frosinone, I think it's Wednesday.
Here we are, not knowing and challenging each other live as we go.
What we do.
It's Thursday, 3 p.m. Eastern time.
What,
January
Frosinone?
11th. Yeah, Frosinone.
Why did I get a thing that was Wednesday?
I don't know. Y'all messed up, man.
I don't know. I just work here, man. Leave me alone.
Milan Atalanta's Wednesday, as well as Lazio Roma. Fiorentina Bologna is tomorrow.
They changed
It's the next 3 days.
They had to.
So there you go.
Oh shit.
So we'll be here Wednesday. Let's not talk about that. That's the closing remarks. Because one last thing we do need to bring up: Moise Kean.
Moise Kean's rap career.
Yeah. Well, it's probably doing better than his Juve career. We don't know, honestly. It's with let's be honest, with Yildiz coming up and Dusan showing up. Milik is Milik. Keane's the third wheel, honestly, at this point. Or fifth wheel. I guess he's the fifth wheel at this point. He's looking at loans, possibly Milan. And Fiorentina. Milan makes more sense to me personally.
No, I don't think Juve would give him to Milan. Unless Juve are really that ballsy and don't believe that Milan's going to challenge for anything.
There's that aspect, but it's also, I think they have enough depth in Milan as opposed to Fiorentina is really struggling defensively. So I definitely see Fiorentina needing it. I don't know. Maybe I'm missing something with Milan.
I think Fiorentina would be beneficial because he would get more touches.
He would
just because of how they play.
Italian.
And look, there's a difference for me. Like, for example, there's a way that I would want Juve to win, which is, again, I'm fine with a shithouse ball as long as you win. But if I'm loaning a player out, I want to loan them somewhere where they can maximize their touches without a margin, like without a fear of fucking up. Right. So, like, for example, that was one of the things that you and I were big advocates for Dean going to Roma because there was opportunity to play. He would get touches, just the way that they do stuff, and he would get more ability to do what he does. I'm fine with Kean going to Fiorentina because they're going to run the ball through him. Kean's going to get different types of touches, different types of packages. Because when you're on a loan, when you're a player on loan, you need to go to a team that will just feed you the rock because that gives you more touches per game than you would at Juve. Because if I were to say hypothetically, if I take Sule and I loan him to Milan versus Frosinone, Milan, he'll probably get 6 touches a game. Frosinone, he'll get 15. Right? That's kind of the logic there. And that's why they sent him there. That's the same thing. They sent Berenachea to Frosinone so he gets more touches. Because the best way to develop anything or a player, give them maximum repetitions. When you're at a bigger club, you have more to lose, which means you're more conservative. Hence why at Juve, Chiesa gets 6 dribbles a game because you have other better players around them, and you also have to be conservative with your approach. Or at Frosinone, fuck it. We're not getting relegated. So let's throw the ball whoever we want, however we want, because if it works, awesome. If it works, we become a highlight reel on Paramount Plus for the week. If it doesn't, shit. There's next week. There's no pressure. It doesn't matter. So that's why you always want to send your offensive players to clubs where there isn't too much pressure, because they can experiment with themselves, try different styles, try a different move, learn a different move, do a different finishing technique. hone your finishing technique. Because that's the one thing I think Dusan had to learn. Bro, you ain't getting your 15 touches that you got at Fiorentina. You're getting 4 or 5. You got to learn how to convert those suckers. And I think that'll benefit Keane. And I think that, and just like how it benefits Sule and how it benefit Berenechea, it'll help Keane. Because my thing with Keane was this: he has the talent, he just needs the reps.
Yeah, they all do. They all, man.
Look, especially the same age as Dusan.
But all of them, they've all been injured, right? All of them need the reps. They need to get back into form. And where else is he going to get reps? Keane's not going to get reps. He's injured right now. So that'll be an interesting one. We'll continue to follow. It seemed like that one died off. It's picking up again. I really don't know how much is behind it. You know, I love him. I would love to keep him around, but this situation it's tight. It's tight right now. So it is what it is. Whatever happens, we hope the best, and I hope that one day he does become a bona fide probably a rotational player. Let's be honest, he's not going to be a starter. I don't think.
Yeah, you never know. You never know.
Maybe. But I do want him to be part of this team long term. So we'll see what happens. I'm watching intently myself, just because I do love the kid and I hope the best for him. On that note, that is the transfer news. 2 points, not a whole lot. It's Monday. We'll get more tomorrow. Dash, is there any last things you'd like to say? Anything we missed? We got her all.
Got her all.
Got her all, and then some. We both had our moments where we let our emotions spill out. But that's what it's all about. That's why we do this. It's just therapy more than anything.
I was emotional. I always get called the robot. That's a first.
Well, I mean, your version of it.
I guess. I just want to call people dumb and get cranky.
Oh, man. Yeah.
Well, alrighty. I guess it's time to do the sign off, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. No hosering. I'm just doing it straight up, huh? Alrighty, everybody. Thanks for tuning in to the day after Salernitana, and just giving you guys some housekeeping. Always, guys, remember, like the video. All you gotta do is just give a thumbs up, man. You're not giving us money unless you want to.
You could. You're allowed to.
You're allowed to. Obviously, that if you like our little Juve with a more comedic twist, obviously subscribe. Turn on the notification button so you know we're there, because Dave and I are more so a live streaming channel than we are a pre-recorded channel. This is just the only feature that we do pre-recorded.
You get one every week. You get one.
Just get one. That's it. And then this week, obviously, catch us for the Frosinone match. I will try to make an appearance. I believe I might be able to skedaddle out of the office in time to join you guys for that match. And we'll also do a call-in show on Saturday while we play Sassuolo on Tuesday the following week. So got a little bit of that. So we'll do a call-in show, do a day after as well. And we'll then do a preview for Sassuolo, and we'll go from there, guys. So we will catch you on the Frosinone pregame stream, which is technically a tinfoil hat show as well. So you get a 2 for 1. You get a 2 for
everything. Oh my god,
everything. It's BOGO. Buy one, get one. Get one.
Do that a lot. Hat,
get another pregame show, and then
the words. Yeah, he just gave up on the words. We're done.
Gave up on the words. I'm done. Cut. Finish.
Right. Thanks, everyone. We will see you